Hi everyone, I just wanted to show a semi-new little thing I've been doing. I don't know if all of you are like me, but my craft room is actually separate from where I usually keep my laptop because I like to separate my hobby from where my work is, especially since I work at home a lot as a realtor. I kind of just need two different spaces, otherwise I feel like I need to work because my computer's in front of me. So instead I've kind of used my iPad a lot more, and especially with this new website called Pinterest. I don't know how many of you have heard about it, but it's really interesting. It's P and then interest. So it's an app on the iPhone, and it looks like this, but it's an actual website, Pinterest.com, and it's where you can tag a lot of your favorite crafting ideas, or it has what's called boards that you can, in essence, create digital boards of different websites that inspire you, different projects that you see online that inspire you. So this is Pinterest, and it's an iPhone app, but you can use it on the iPad as well, because there's a little button at the bottom corner that'll say 2 times, and it blows it up. So what I did here in my account is I went on websterspages.com and I found several pages that other artists have done that inspire me to use the papers that I bought from my Webster's Pages haul, warehouse haul. And so in particular, I really liked this one, and I want to make that one into a scrapbook page. So here I can just have this sitting on my scrapbook table next to me while I try to make this layout or something similar to this layout while I'm sitting here upstairs and I don't have my computer in front of me. But I can still see the image. I don't have to go and print it off and bring a piece of paper into the separate room, but I just have it right here on my tablet next to me. So this is the one I'm going to work on today, and I'll show you it as it comes along. So I want to point out how I use inspiration projects. Again, I did not do this layout. I found this layout on Webster's Pages, and I'm using it as inspiration to do one of my own. And mine will look very similar because I just love this layout, and I have so many of these items. For example, I have the bloomers, I have this flower, I have these little sparklers, and I have some tulle. I have these flowers as well, even this little bit of string I have. I also have this ticket, but it was interesting as I was looking at the details on this page, this ticket is actually different than what I have. This is actually layering 2 different tickets on top of each other so that the background for this Good Times matches the background of this dress form. So I'll show you that in a minute. Now I don't have this silver ribbon and I don't have this green ribbon, but that's okay. What I'll end up doing is using some ribbons that I have along with Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Micas and trying to dye some ribbons to come to a match similar to that. So now I'll show you the products that I'm going to use based off of looking at this layout. Okay, so here I have everything laid out. Again, like I said, I'll be using those sparklers. So there's the brown one and the green one. This, instead of that silver one, I'm going to try to dye this silver with Lindy Stamp Gang. This is where I have that bit of twine that matches. Here's the lace that I'm going to try to dye green. And then these are a lot of the products that are an exact match, that are exactly on that layout. Now what's interesting about those layouts is most people don't use a full 12 by 12 sheet. When you get these designer papers, the temptation is to, okay, let me just put a photo right in the middle of that and be done with it. Let me go up a little bit so you can see this page better. But instead, what a lot of designers do is they'll just use bits and pieces of the paper. For example, in this one they used all these specific dress forms. So I'll be fussy cutting out every individual dress form and putting it on a blank piece of cardstock. That cardstock will be dyed with yellow a yellow mist. You could use glimmer mist, but in my case, I love Lindy Stamp Gang. So I will find a yellow that matches from the ones that I have, and I will find, I will mist my paper and then layer these on those. The other thing that Inspiration Layout did was they took this sheet of paper as well, and they fussy cut out the butterflies. And they also fussy cut out a couple of these flowers. So I will do the same and layer those on that page. So as I go along, I will show you the page after I lay everything out on it. I won't glue it down until I show you how I have everything laid out. Okay, so again, there is the inspiration page that I have on my Pinterest board that I had saved. And now let me show you what I've worked on. So this is my page so far. Let me adjust the camera a little bit here. And so now I've cut everything out and laid it all out. I did want my photo to be a little larger than the one they used, and then the butterflies on the paper that I have are slightly larger than the ones they had. So I'm only using 2 instead of 3 because I really don't want to mess up with the dress forms there. Now just to explain how I did this real quick, Webster's Pages has this really neat netting that comes in those rolls. They're rolled up like this. It's the Webster's Pages Vintage Inspired Netting. And so instead of using the whole thing, I just cut about a 2-inch strip and then just went back and forth on this because this has almost like a needle effect, you know, with the wires. So I went back and forth, and that's going to be what's going to go on the dress form to make it like a little skirt. And so now what I'm going to do is start mixing my colors for my mists because I'm going to make this background yellow. I'm going to stain this gray or silver with the Magical Micas from Lindy Stamp Gang, and this is going to be like a lime green. So I will demonstrate those as I go. So now I'll start doing the dyeing or the spritzing with the Lindy Stamp Gang products. The first one I'm going to use is the Yellow Rose of Texas for the background of the paper. Then for this ribbon, I'm going to use the Magical Micas Black Orchid Silver. And then for the last strip of ribbon, I'm going to use Maidenhair Fern Green. Now this is why I really like those Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Micas. This was completely white, but now it's this iridescent silver that just shines and glimmers because of all the glimmer that's in the Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Micas. So I took a white piece of ribbon, and now it almost looks the equivalent of that silver bling that is on that page on the inspiration piece that I've been looking at. So the last little detail that I noticed after I did all this is on this page. I don't know if you can see it, but on the edges they have a slight hot pink color. So I'm going to take my Distress ink from Tim Holtz. This one is Worn Lipstick, and I like to use my little thumb sponges, and I'll put a little bit of ink on it, and I'm going to go ahead and go ink those edges now. Okay, so again, here's my board that I had saved on Pinterest for the inspiration piece. Again, if I go back, I'm sorry, I didn't want to go back. Let me click on the board and click on this. It'll actually load the website where I got it from, which is from this lady here, and she calls it Good Times. And I think her username is, looks like Iris UY. So again, that's actually officially posted on the Webster's Pages website, and so that's the one that I used as my inspiration. And so off camera I kind of moved my embellishments around a little bit. I wanted this a little bit more off-centered, and so it's okay if you feel like you don't have an ounce of creativity in you. You can still scrapbook very easily. Most of these companies, for example, this one is called Webster's Pages, have a gallery on their website. You can save those gallery photos to your Pinterest and then mimic them, or as we call it, scrap lift them, to be your own layout. And so just really make it with what you have available to you at home, or maybe you bought most of the products that company line offers. So I hope this helps, gives you some ideas, and also if you haven't checked it out, you've got to check out Pinterest, because you can save all of your digital ideas in one place so that you can reference them when you're ready to finally go and start scrapping on your own. Thanks for watching.